In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Radio Hall of Fame Basketball. The first NBA radio for all the fans around the world. Radio Hall of Fame Basketball. We talk about NBA. We talk about passion. We are your radio.
Joining us on the latest episode of NiceKicks Cast is DAMIAN LILLARD, Portland Trailblazers franchise point guard and a longtime signature athlete now with Adidas. That's kind of fun to say. Not going to have his fourth shoe this fall. And thanks for joining us, Dame.
Appreciate you having me, brother.
You know, we're here to talk about social media as an athlete, which is a little different. You know, obviously it's a big part of how you help build your brand now through the years with Adidas and with the Blazers. Can you just kind of go back to when you were in college? Like, what did you know about social media at the time? And were you just kind of using it as just something to talk with your buddies about? Like, what was it kind of like at the time?
Back in college, I would always see, like, the advertisements for, like, Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, on commercials and stuff, I'd see, like, Diddy come on there and he'd be like, follow me on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it'd be, like, his Twitter, but I never got into it.
Yep.
A lot of my teammates had Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff, and I never really dove into it. I was like really just consumed with trying to make it to the league, so I never really paid attention to it. And one day, one of my best friends was like, "Man, you should get on Twitter, make you a Twitter account." So my first Twitter account I made, my name on there was Mr. Weber State.
Okay.
So when I made it, the only people that I followed or that followed me was my teammates, because that's the only people that I knew, and that's kind of like them and then my friend that told me to get a Twitter. So like we would just basically just say anything we wanted because we was the only people following each other. So I was like talking trash and cussing and quoting raps and stuff like that with cuss words in it because I really didn't know the level of the platform that it was. So some of the tweets came back to bite me when I got to the league, but I mean that was my first lesson with it, just being responsible with it. But when I got to the league, that's when I realized like how useful it could be, like as far as growing your brand and allowing people to get to know you as a person and, you know, other things that you do outside of the game. You know, they're gonna make their own judgments and they're gonna see what they want to see when it comes to you playing basketball. But I like for people to know who I am, like what kind of person that I am. So it's like they're not just judging me off of if I get mad in a basketball game, or if I get attacked, or if I show too much emotion or whatever. They'll know the person and they'll know where it comes from. So, I mean, that's kind of the way I decided I was going to use it.
Okay. And obviously coming into the league, you know, you had Nate Jones, Goodwin Sports, and all those guys that kind of helped you off the court.
Definitely.
How did they kind of frame how, like, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are different? And, like, how do you think you use them differently?
I mean, I kind of, like I said, I used it the way that I just mentioned, with just allowing people to see the kind of person I am and to see what I'm interested in and stuff like that. And I would always share my ideas and stuff with Nate Jones. And he's the person that always figures out the right way to go about it and bring it to life and to make it as strong as possible, you know, after I come with the idea and my vision for it. And it's become, you know, a way for me to connect with fans, a way for me to push a lot of my stuff, my music and what's going on with me. It's become a great avenue for me because of what I figured I would use it at right off the bat. So they just make everything that I bring to it stronger. You know, it's a plan behind it. It's a goal in mind that we have and what we want to get out of it, and you know who we trying to get in touch with and who we want to see what and stuff like that. So it makes it more powerful. It makes it more useful. And
obviously one of the things, and you kind of mentioned music, is just like the 4-Bar Friday.
Yeah.
What's it been like just to kind of see that community grow and have that kind of platform for people to submit their stuff?
I mean, it's been real cool because it started off where I was like, man, I just want people to be able to hear me rap. And I'm going to get people to join me doing it. And then from there it turned into people like, oh, he could rap. Then it turned into people caring about what they submitted, taking pride in it. Then you got rewards and prizes, and you bringing them to this event, and they get to do this competition. And then they start feeling close to you. Then it becomes a community, and they feel like we friends. And then they start to care about the community. They started being invested in it, and I become more invested in it. And then it just grows when you just keep adding to something like that. And from where it started to now, it's like a real thing. Like, I run into people now, and they be like, some 4-bar Friday will come up. A lot of times this has happened. It's come up, and they'll be talking to me as if, like, wondering if I knew what 4-bar Friday was, and I'd be like, I made 4-bar Friday
That's
up.
my thing,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I created that. So it's just funny that it's come that far from where I started it.
I did a deep dive on Instagram basically from like September 1st of last season through the whole end of the regular season, and looked at like how many guys had different branded posts, and you had like over twice as many as any other signature guy. James Harden was actually second. What's it like just trying to figure out the balance of like what's too much, what's just the right amount? Because I mean, you're always like by far the most consistent in terms of like supporting and promoting your Adidas stuff.
Well, I mean, it goes back to, like I said, the beginning of what I wanted to use that platform as, and that's allowing people to get to know me. So people know that what I'm doing, they know it's going to be genuine. They know it's real. I'm not pitching nothing at you. It's never going to be fake. So when I'm constantly posting stuff, it's always related to me. It's always something they can relate to. It's never like, oh, sign up for this and use my code. And, you know, it's never like the corny stuff where you using people. It's more inviting them. Like,
I like that. That's a good way of phrasing it.
You kind of inviting them to be a part of something as opposed to trying to sell them something or pitch something at them. So that's why I don't think it ever gets confused. I could have 10 posts in a row that's like, I'm doing this at Adidas, show up here, do this, that. And it's never, because my stuff has always been genuine and it's always been the way I've carried it on that platform. The people that follow me, they don't view it that way.
A good example of that, too, is like the first 3 shoes. You did the design contest with each one, basically, on my Adidas. How'd that come about, and what's it been like just picking out designs from fans and then, you know, obviously wearing it on the court?
I'm sure people had done it in the past where, you know, it was received well, where fans got to design something and the player wore it on court. But for me, with just doing so many things from connecting with fans and allowing them to be a part of this and be a part of that, and having my Adidas, you know, it was a great opportunity to reach out another way. But Nate Jones, like I said before, he's the one that's always bringing stuff to life and looking deeper into stuff like, oh, we got 4-bar Friday contestants, we could allow them to do this, and then we could allow these people to do that, and then so I mean, a lot of that was his thinking, you know, but it goes back to me, them seeing who I am and diving back into the fans and being connected with the people that follow me. So I mean, stuff just come to life like that when it's done in a real way.
For sure. And obviously we're out here in Vegas, and last night you went to the game, LaMelo and Zion. What was it like, just that experience? And I guess that game is like perfect representation, too, of like just how social media can help those two guys at 16 and just create the hype that it did for the game. Yeah,
I mean, it was the talent level is crazy. You know, both of them really talented. But it's just different. You know, you see the big screen up there. The game is on the big screen. There's cameras everywhere. You know, all the other athletes is fans of dudes that's the same age as them. When it's like, I'm not used to that. It's like, you're supposed to look at them like they not that good. Like almost kind of hating on them, like their competition. So that was different because I think back to when I was in 10th, 11th grade and I went to a game with my boy P and Jared Bayless was playing and they like, man, he gonna be the number 1 pick. He this, that. And we was looking at him like, he good, but he ain't better than me. Like, and we had people on our team like, man, y'all just hate. He ranked this or he ranked that, but that's just how their mentality was. And now, like, these dudes got their phone out when another 16-year-old walking by recording them because they got 1 million followers or 500,000 followers on Instagram.
LaMelo's at 2.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
Like, it's good because they getting that exposure and they getting that opportunity. But depending on how they carry it, it can be bad too. You don't want to have them situations where, like a Lenny Cook situation where they got so much hype and there's cameras everywhere and so much is expected, and then they get to college and it don't go the way it was supposed to go. And now everybody, they got 2 million followers. Everybody expecting all this out of them. They're supposed to go to the NBA and then they don't. Or it don't work out how it's supposed to work out. Now, all of that big hype machine and, you know, the cameras and all the stuff that AAU has now it's going to hurt them because now they got to deal with everybody talking about them and everybody having something to say about what they were supposed to be. And that don't go away. People still talk about Lenny Cook. People still talk about all those dudes that had to go through that. So,
did you see the movie?
Yeah, I saw it.
Man, it was rough.
Yeah, it was.
They had a screening in Portland, and Lenny was there.
I know. I met him. I saw him.
And
that was the first time I met him.
Man, I was like kind of sad for him because he didn't look like it wasn't like it was like a relief. Like I've been seeing how Antoine Walker does financial advice now, and he talks about how it's like therapeutic.
Yeah,
and like it did not seem like Lenny was taking it that way. It seemed pretty hard for him.
Yeah, that was the first time I actually met him.
Yeah.
I saw him downtown. I was out eating, and I saw him. He was like, "Man, what's up?" And I was like, "What's up?" I shook his hand, and I ain't really noticing because he looked different than he did when I seen him. And he was like, "It's me, it's Lenny Cook." And I looked at him again. I was like, "Man, this is Lenny Cook." So like he was telling me he was out there for his documentary, and I actually watched it, and I was just like, "Man, and it was like LeBron was on there, Melo was on there, like it was real dudes on there that he was considered better than." You know what I'm saying? And he was kind of sunning them a little bit, so it was like. It's fragile, man. You just got to be careful with, giving a lot of these young dudes too much attention. Not because they don't deserve it, but it's just, it can be good and it can be bad too.
Yep. One of my favorite side effects of seeing stuff on social is anytime you're posting music, even though you probably just got done with a workout that morning, there's always this one guy that's like, man, shouldn't you be in the gym? Yeah. Like, what's it like just kind of dealing with that side of it too, and like sometimes the negative side of all of it?
I mean, sometimes it's irritating when
because you too, you'll definitely like fire back at people all the time too.
I'm gonna say something. Like, there's people tell me all the time, like, man, you don't gotta respond to it, but I'm always gonna say something. Now, in certain stuff where I just be like, whatever, like that's crazy. But then there's other stuff where I be like, I'm gonna engage. I'm gonna say something back because sometimes that's the last thing they expect, and that's not what they want. They don't want to have to explain what they said, or they don't want that type of confrontation. Yeah. But, when people say it, it's easy for me to dismiss because I know the first thing I do every day is get up and I go work out. And I do my conditioning. I'm in the weight room. I know that first thing's always first, so I do that. And then I can go rap as long as I want to. And if I put out a quality album and then I come out the season after I put out a quality album and I have my best season, like, and the summer before, I was putting out songs every week, and then I had my best season up to that time. And then I did an album and did it again. So how much weight does what they saying actually carry? It don't mean nothing. If anything, rapping is making me get better. So
it's kind of giving you a balance, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going off the numbers, it does add up.
No, that's great. Well, thanks again for joining us, and always fun to catch up. And just
in your face, kind of all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Radio Hall of Fame Basketball. The first NBA radio for all the fans around the world. Radio Hall of Fame Basketball. We talk about NBA. We talk about passion. We are your radio.
NBA fans, NBA League Pass is your ticket to all of this season's action.
Fires a long one. He's done it again.
Every exciting matchup.
Puts it in.
Every incredible shot.
Right-handed hammer.
Every big moment. Every game live and on demand in HD quality on every type of device. Wherever you are, whenever you want. NBA League Pass has you covered. Sign up today